Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going over to Elusive Brewing and we're having a look at the Obi Wan Shinobi, which is an Imperial Smoked Stout clocking in at 11.2%, brewed in collaboration with, and I always forget the name, I know the name, but I always forget the actual proper name, but Emperor Brewing, which of course is Damien, and let me see, what the hell am I doing? I don't know why it's actually properly mentioned, the full proper name, because I never know if it's Empire Brewery, Empire Brewing, Empire Brewery, but I had the Princess Slayer, which was the collaboration with Black Iris. So I have had a beer from Vaughn. What a talented brewer he is. Basically from a home brewer, and now I think it's even done a collaboration with Northern Monk for Dark City, if I remember correctly. And from what I can gather, an all-round nice guy. Met him once drunkenly after Indie Man. We talked for a little bit, but it was a little bit of a blur. But anyway, so yeah, Elusive Brewing, not had anything from these guys, so looking forward to it. So oh, of course, as soon as I'm looking at the bottle and saying, oh, I can't find any mention, it says on the first fucking paragraph, an Imperial Stout in collaboration with mysterious Sith Lord, Emperor's Brewery. Don't think I actually said that in the 10 different names that I was coming out with. A ship full of smoked malt was combined with oats and a galaxy full of roasted grains to give a decadent and rich body to this deeply complex beer. Berkshire produced honey and dark muscovado sugar was used to add a depth of flavour before the beer was propelled into light speed by aging on spiced rum-soaked cacao nibs. Drink now or travel forward through space and time to allow the flavours to develop in the bottle. And this was actually bottled on the 9th of January 2019, and best before date is the 9th of January 2022. So Elusive Brewing creates beers with an eye on tradition and another on taking things to the next level. Found on a home brewer who went to win awards at national level from our small brewery in Finchampstead, Berkshire. We'd like to share our game with you. Insert coin to play. Ingredients are water, malted barley and oats, brackets gluten, honey, cacao, hops and yeast. Unfined contains live yeast. And there we go. So we've obviously got the Star Wars reference and also the Shinobi video game series reference. Well, never played Shinobi. Just never got around to ever playing it. And it looks really good. I love the aesthetic of it. Isn't that where they also get the name of Shadow Dancer? Wasn't that a part of the series? Because I know there's that Manchester-based electronic act who are on Boys Noise Records with the Golden Tracks album. Fucking amazing album, by the way. Yeah, they think they referenced Shadow Dancer as well. Look at me name dropping like I actually know what I'm talking about. But anyway, pick this up from Beermoth at £5.40, which I think is a really good price for an Imperial Stout that's got such robust sounding ingredients. So yeah, let's get this opened with this awful bottle opener, but it's the only one I can find at the moment. It's from like I think it's like Home and Bargains. You can buy like the Tool beer set where you get this and a bottle stopper with a hammer on top, but that just doesn't open bottles easily. It's basically just a wrench. You could probably use it for its actual purpose, but it got there in the end. It's just a plain shiny crown, so I'm not going to worry too much about the design. Anyway, using my snifter glass. I need to get more glasses like this. I did have a Beermoth one, but it inevitably got broke. But just look at that. Look how nice that's pouring. That is really pouring like engine oil. Only carbonation generated towards the end there. So let's mix it all in, see if we can get any head. But yeah, don't know if you can hear that, but you can definitely smell the beer from here. So yeah, a smoked Imperial Stout. People who've watched the channel somewhat regularly, they should know, but if they don't, that's fine. I'll put it down to ignorance on your part, nothing to do with how low-key my YouTube channel is. But yeah, I love smoked beers. You know, stuff like Rauchbiermärzen from Echtlenkela being one of my favourites. Torside for me in the UK do the best Rauch beers. I love the inclusion of smoked malts. I love that sort of flavour. I like how you can get sweet, honey glazed ham characters, even like fish sort of aromas, smoked kippers and stuff. But then at the same time, you get really harsh upfront, you know, smokiness and char. I just love smoked malts. I think they can add such a complex character to a beer. So yeah, to have them in an Imperial Stout, counteracting those sort of sweetened adjuncts, it sounds wonderful, and it just looks fantastic as well, doesn't it? It just looks like a slick in a glass. Anyway, no head at all, dissipated really quite quickly. It looks like if you like fell into a pool of this, you'd come out all sticky like a sludge monster or something like that. There's a name for an Imperial Stout. Sticky Sludge Monster. Or just Sludge Monster, because Sticky Sludge Monster could be interpreted in a really filthy way. Anyway, on the nose, I mean, yeah, it's jet black in the glass. On the nose, I am getting that smoky character coming through. It's not really sweet, but at the same time, it's not really, you know, upfront. And there's a word I'm trying to think of to use, but I just can't get it out. But yeah, lovely smokiness there. You are getting the rum in there as well. The rum-soaked cacao nibs. Or was it cacao nibs? Yeah. So you do get that like spicy botanical rub. I wouldn't mind having a spicy botanical rub right now. But yeah, spicy botanical rum sort of character. No inclination at all that this is an 11% ABV Impy Stout. All the Muscovado coming through. Lovely malty character. It just smells pretty damn inviting. It's been a little bit colder today. It actually rained, which I say actually rained as if it's a shock that it rained in the northwest of the UK. But yeah, so it's been a little bit cooler, even though we've had some really warm patches. So I thought, you know what, instead of just having another IPA or Pale Ale, why don't I crack open an Imperial Stout? Gonna have myself some sausage bombs after this as well, so it's gonna be a good day. I can't stop smelling this. It's lovely stuff. It's like really inviting. It's not really too in your face in any sort of way. So it smells lovely. Anyway, waffled on for way too long. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys. Ooh. That's one of those beers that actually develops as you're drinking it. Because I'm not going to lie, the first thing that I get when I put it in my mouth is it's a little bit thin. It is a little bit of a thin Imperial Stout. But it still has that like slick velvetiness there. So it's not like watery or anything like that. It's just far from that. But I think we're sort of like pre-programmed with Imperial Stouts now due to the, you know, the emphasis on adjuncts and the likes of Omnipio and breweries of the like, where you get like really big, bold, chewy sort of bodies to them. This is a little bit thin, but it's not watery. But Paul from PA Brew News would kick up a fuss about it, that's for sure. Because he's a bastard, essentially. But I love him, really. Those smoked malts do come through towards like a third into the beer, like the 2/3 into the beer. Let's get not geometrical, but yeah, let's be a prick like that. What was I trying to say? I don't know. I actually don't know what I was trying to say there. Definitely getting the rum character coming through on those cacao nibs. It's got that spiciness, but then you've got the bitterness of the cacao. So everything that's in there, you're getting. It's just not as sweet as you'd expect Muscovado to be. But then again, Muscovado sugar isn't exactly like caster sugar, where it's like a bright sweetness. It's more of that brown, sort of like cakey sweetness. But yeah, a little bit of alcohol burn on the back end, which is welcomed because, I mean, it's both a good thing and a bad thing when you get these like 11 plus ABV beers that just don't taste anything like 11 plus percent ABV. So you get carried away from them. You don't really enjoy them like you should do. This is one you sit back and enjoy. The smoked malts are there, but they're not too intrusive. They just add a nice little layer to the beer. But yeah, it's not the most exciting of Imperial Stouts that I've had. But then again, they don't always have to be big, bombastic sort of beers. This has got like that classic, like Russian Imperial Stout vibe. It's reminded me slightly of Evil Twins, Even More Jesus, which I think for just a standard Imperial Stout is great. And then, of course, you've got the little flavours added into this, which all, you know, it's all like those little pieces of the puzzle that bring the beer together. So I am a little bit disappointed. I would like a bit more of, I want to say abhorrent, but that's not the word. I want a little bit more of an assertive, that's what I was looking for. I want a more assertive, smoky character. Now, for my preference, I mean, am I saying that this is a bad or boring beer? Fuck no. This is a wonderful Imperial Stout. If you like Imperial Stouts, this has a lot to offer. But when it's a smoked Imperial Stout, I'm almost at that point where I want you to make it a little bit too smoky. I want it to have a little bit too of like that honey glazed ham, or, you know, harsh burnt wood. Do you know what I mean? I sometimes want like really in your face smokiness. But I think in this, it's there, it's evident, but it sort of offsets from those other flavours, so it adds a little bit more of a balance. So I'm basically nitpicking because it's a little bit balanced, which is, you know, a testament to the brewing at the end of the day, where they've got just the right amounts of each characteristic, just the right amounts of each ingredient. But with it being a smoky Imperial Stout, or an Imperial Stout with smoked malts, kind of want it to be a bit more harsh, a bit more in your face. And that's really, aside from it being a little bit thin, that's the only criticism that I can really think of. And it's not even a major criticism at all. It's not affecting my enjoyment of the beer. It's not really a detriment to the beer. It's just for my personal preferences, I want it to be a little bit more harsh. I want it to be a little bit more in your face. But as it stands now, it's lovely stuff. You definitely pick up that rum in there, and it just adds a really nice, intriguing character. Now, I'm not usually into my spirits, but I do like a nice, dark, spiced rum. But then again, the only ones I've ever had are like the commercially produced, like Captain Morgan's and stuff, which I think is gorgeous. You know, I miss those days where you go to house parties and all you'd need to take is a bottle of Captain Morgan's spiced rum, or that Bacardi Oak Heart, which is really nice as well, and a bottle of Coke, and that's it. That's your drinking for the night. Now I'm spending much more for the rare occasions that I do go out. Now, how sad is that? Well, I'm spending much more, getting much less beer. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, now I'm really in the mood for a rum and Coke. That'd be really nice when I was sat in the garden. But we don't have any. I do have amaretto though, and port. Suppose I could mix them. I won't do that because that's, A, that sounds like it could be awful, and B, I'm in work tomorrow, so. But yeah, lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely stuff. One that I would definitely try again. I'd like to try this maybe 6 months to a year down the line, just to see what happens when those flavours sort of subside and maybe other characteristics come through. But yeah, as it stands, in terms of a rating, I'm still going to give this an 8 out of 10. And the only real criticisms that I have are my own personal niggledy preferences, which, you know, different people have different palates. That's what I love about this. You could watch 10 people drink this beer and then give your their reviews. Can't speak. I cannot. It's the first beer and probably the only beer of the day, and I'm slurring my words already. But you could watch 10 different people drink this beer, and yeah, you probably get, you know, common characteristics throughout. But I think a lot of people would get a lot of little things out of this that I'm not even touched upon, and they might appreciate more than I do. People might not like this at all. But I think as an imperial stout that has adjuncts but is still quite a simple imperial stout, I think they've done a cracking job. And I'm always happy to try more beers from Emperor's Brew. And yeah, I've finally got to try a beer from Elusive Brewing. And do you know what? For £5.40, worth every penny. I've had much more highly regarded imperial stouts at double to 3 times the price, which have not even half delivered what this has. So for £5.40, that's an absolute bargain. So yeah, very happy with that. Anyway, I need a cigarette now. So go check out Elusive Brewing down below. Go check out Emperor's Brew. Again, I've completely misread the name one more time. Emperor's Brewery. Links will be down below. If you tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. What's some of your favourite imperial stouts? It's actually been the first imperial stout I've had for a while, to be honest. I've been really on a haze craze recently. But yeah, so your thoughts, opinions, always welcome. If any of my friends and fellow beer tubers have reviewed this one, then their links are down below. And yeah, I'm going to sit in the garden now for a little bit, and then I'm going to cook myself some sausages. Life's good, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, hope you're all doing well. Thank you for sitting through this awful, awful review. Apologies to those who have brewed it, because this is a terrible review. I'm a terrible person. And yeah, thank you for sticking with me. Cheers, and see you later.